I don't know how many people go to see the recordings of these videos, but I do know that maybe once a week, every so often, somebody gets in touch with me who saw these videos and they have touched them very deeply. And they want to find out more about the meditation, how they can, you know, learn about the meditation. So I think these videos, for the numbers of people they're touching, they're really working in a deep way, and they're helping some of them to find, God knows, maybe a path to, a spiritual life. So I'm very happy about that and grateful. And again, I don't follow it and, keep a record of the numbers of people and all that
It's
stuff.
2:00.
But I do get responses, and that really is very touching for me. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart?
Yes.
I just thought it would be good to talk about the situation in, war in Ukraine, and yeah, it's scary that it can, yeah.
Yes, it's not only scary, it's stupid, it's arrogant, it's full of, self-importance of crazy people that are doing all of this and killing so many people. I mean, the whole thing is beyond, even scary. It's just beyond, And frankly, I don't know what to do about it. I can't control those people. Those people have existed on the earth as long as there's been mankind on the earth, with some kind of insane need to control the world. It's like that incredible poem by the English poet Shelley, where he's standing at the grave of Ozymandias. He said, "Here lies Ozymandias, king of kings." And that really is something none of those people ever learn. They don't learn from history that we all wind up in the same 6-foot plot of land. Nobody can control the earth. Nobody can inflict their will that way, a will that does so much damage to so many human beings. You're right, it's scary. It's beyond all comprehension how people can function that way and how people don't learn anything from history. My answer to that is that, look, those things are never going to go away, unless people on this planet that we live learn how to work on themselves, learn how to overcome, that darkness that exists inside them, and transform it into light. Now, we're talking about 8 billion people, and 8 billion people are not going to do this. But we can do this. You understand? We can build systems inside that transform any kind of darkness into love, into joy, into happiness, into the ability to have compassion for other human beings. And I think that's so much the nature of this work that we do, not to save the world, but each and every one of us recognizing that what we can contribute to the world is a sense of lightness of being, a sense of openness, love, compassion for other human beings. And I think if people would begin to do this, there would be some change in the world. But again, we're living with 6 billion people, and the same kind of crazy wars that go on, like in the Ukraine and Vietnam and all this stuff, happens in Israel all the time, and Palestine. It's the same wars that people are fighting inside themselves. The same wars in a less dramatic way that go on in families, and arguing and fighting and knowing better than somebody else. And our work is to transform all of that so that each day we can live with an open heart, with love. And we can change ourselves, and we can learn something from, these idiot people that wind up killing thousands and thousands of people for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So I don't know what to do about the world situation, but each and every one of us can do something about ourselves. I mean, I once had a conversation with God. I said, you made this crazy world. I'm not capable of fixing it. I can fix me, and I can certainly do everything within my powers to help people that come and want to learn the things that I've learned in my life. But as far as fixing things that go on, 10,000 miles away from where there's nothing I can do about it. And honestly, I can't remember a day in my life, I say this all the time, and it's true, where there hasn't been a war somewhere on the earth. Not one day from the day I was born. I'm not a young man anymore, But we all can learn how to fix the one person that we can really fix, and that's ourselves. And that will lead to somebody else and somebody else. And, and it really brings a certain degree of love into the world and a certain degree of compassion into the world and a certain degree of recognizing how to deal with this illusion that permeates throughout the world of people conquering each other, controlling each other, and understand, that the only answer is a connection with higher energy in the universe. But you're right, it's crazy, it's insane, it's scary, it's beyond belief, it's surreal, so far outside of belief, that people can do this to each other. And then you think, why? Why? There's no reason for it, other than things people manufacture in their own brains. The same energy that brings this horror can bring love if people just fix themselves inside. And then it's all racial things and religious things and your religion versus my religion. It's so stupid, all these religions come from exactly the same place, God. And the whole thing is ridiculous.
I think politicians, they use religion to get to war. They are, they want to have power and take nature. Yeah.
Yes, Laura, that's a big problem. My way of God is better than your way of God. It's so stupid, Just the very notion is stupid. And to kill somebody because of that is really stupid.
Yes.
But how am I going to tell somebody that, I was reading that people are going around Israel now shooting other people because of religious differences, we have it in the United States. Every day there's some person that goes into a mall and shoots 5 people. Who knows what goes on in the heads of these people to do stuff like that? Anger. They're angry. They're going to get revenge. And, it's like, in the Bible, I always say this, that one of the greatest things ever written is Jesus Christ on a cross, nailed to a cross. And he looks out and says, to God, forgive them, they know not what they do. This is one of the most extraordinary things ever written.
Yes.
And nobody learns this, to forgive. How much more profound it is to forgive somebody than to take revenge on somebody. Because all revenge does lead to more revenge and more, it's like Gandhi said, an eye for an eye will lead to the entire world becoming blind, And I think that's brilliant. At some point, it has to stop. And it will never stop unless people learn to forgive each other.
It's not so easy to forgive, Stuart.
Well, we have to be big enough inside to be able to forgive.
But my question is, did we have to find first the truth? And after that, maybe we can forgive. But often I don't know what was happened in my life, what they did to me. But then I find the truth. I hope I can forgive.
Yes, better to do that. At least if you learn to forgive, you can move on in your own life. It doesn't mean the other people are going to move on in their life, but you in your own life can move on. You're no longer holding that anger in yourself, that revenge in yourself. And then this whole other levels of experience can come in because you keep from blocking them. You know, being angry and, you know, wanting to revenge yourself, and you can move on. Forgiveness is not really for other people, it's for ourselves. We need to move on in life. And one of the only ways you can move on is forgiving, letting go. And this is not easy. People have done crazy things to other people. But ultimately, the only way to move on and to open to new levels of experience and higher levels of experience, you've got to let go. You've got to forgive.
Oh. It's my question.
I tell you, in my life, I've had a lot of crap done to me. Jealous people of me and people that tried to kill me, literally, through all kinds of magic and this and that. I won't go into it, but I've had this. And then I would go to God. I would go to Rudy. I'd go to Nietzsche. What? Forgive them, Stuart. It's the only answer. Forgive them so that you can move on in your life. And ultimately, when I arrived at a place in myself where I was able to forgive these people, my whole life began to change. It opened up whole new levels of inner work, of joy, of love, of, you know, being able to be a happy person living here. Does anyone else have a very good question, Flora? Thank you. And, you know, this is a great thing to have on video. Maybe a few people will listen to it and learn something. I don't know. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart?
Yes.
Can we grasp the concept in this life that doing the work on ourselves has a much greater impact on the world outside of us than we can comprehend?
Well, I don't know if you can grasp it in your head, but you do it and you see how life changes around you. It's always changed around me because of that. I don't understand it. Look, I don't understand anything I do, frankly. I mean, if you want a logical explanation for what I do, you're coming to the wrong person. I mean it. All I know is, as I continue to grow in this chakra system, the whole world changes around me. The way I see the world changes. My ability to communicate with other people goes deeper and it changes. My ability to even have fun in life changes. This point of my life, I am having so much fun. I am enjoying life so much that it is totally extraordinary. It's all a product of years of inner work and growth. Do I understand any of this? No. Will I make any pretense of understanding it? No. I am so grateful I can live this way. And I don't want to understand it. You know, I just want to live it. And let tomorrow come and let the day, who cares, you know? I mean, I can't spend my days worrying about tomorrow, being guilty about yesterday. I have to keep getting strong enough that I can spend my time living in the moment and being really full of joy and love, that I can totally open and experience what it is to be in the now. Do I understand it? No. Anyone who tells me they understand it, no, I don't believe it, Can people live it? Yes. I mean, when I was younger, I studied acting, in New York. And one of the things that this teacher tried to drill into my freaking head is that when you're on the stage, you're living in the moment. And you have to be completely focused in the moment and respond to the moment as your character would respond to the moment. I mean, in the theater, they teach this. I mean, do actors and actresses and directors do it when they leave the theater? No. But on the stage, the best of them do that. They are living presence on the stage.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome, Larry. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, yeah, this has been something. And thank you and bless you all for the questions, for the energy, for these classes. And I mean, I can't tell you how grateful I am to be sitting here and doing this with all of you. So
Bless
God
you,
bless everybody. And I there'll be a class on, it was Thursday, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.